Well, President Cyril Ramaphosa is indeed on a two-day working visit to Ghana as part of his tour to 4 West African countries, including Nigeria, Ivory Coast and Senegal, to strengthen bilateral and economic ties. Ghana's President Nana Akufo Addo welcomed President Ramaphosa at Jubilee House, the seat of government in Accra, after a brief ceremony. Let's get more on President Ramaphosa's visit to Ghana. We're now joined by our correspondent in Accra, Nabil Ahmed. Nabil, a very good afternoon to you. A number of issues that we discussed, you and I, yesterday on day one of President Cyril Ramaphosa's visit in Ghana. In terms of what was his schedule, you're here to tell us what exactly he would be doing, and certainly you can give us an idea of what happened yesterday. But also, we had spoken about President Ramaphosa's discussions with the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement in Accra, which you said was likely to happen. And has that indeed happened? And maybe you can talk to us about some of those discussions too. So really quite a big question there for you to answer, in terms of it's a two-pronged question for you.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, a lot of activities have been happening since President Ramaphosa came to Ghana. And from yesterday, President Ramaphosa and Ghana's President Nana Akufo Addo signed some bilateral agreement. But first, they actually inaugurated the binational commission that will seek to strengthen the trade and bilateral relations between Ghana and South Africa. Indeed, just after they inaugurated that particular binational commission, they actually went further to sign some bilateral agreements, and that has to do with the sectors of agriculture, transport, gender, as well as migration. Shortly after that, we had both presidents addressing the press, and President Ramaphosa said he was really happy that Ghana has welcomed him for this two-day working visit, whereas other Western countries have banned travel to South Africa and have banned South Africans from traveling to their countries due to the Omicron variant. But he was saying that that's really on the slap on the face of Africans for the fact that South Africa were the ones, scientists in South Africa were the ones who detected this variant, and it shouldn't be a punishment for the country for this ingenuity. So after that, he also mentioned that indeed it is very, very important that African countries do not impose travel restrictions on one another, just like following the steps of what the Westerners have done. But then we should come together and then continue to open our borders so we can learn to live with the virus, as we've been doing since the pandemic struck last year. We know that vaccination is ongoing, and he has called for speedy release of vaccines so that a lot of African countries can vaccinate or immunize their people. Aside that, we also saw the fact that he mentioned some of the economic and developmental issues that have affected Africa for many years. Talk about insecurity and terror activities within the continent, and both President Ramaphosa and Ghana's President Nana Akufo Addo have agreed to really work together to tackle these issues and promote peace within their region, so that economic activities can really go on, and also political stability will be ensured among African countries. Talking about the Continental Free Trade Agreement, indeed, it was something that also came up during the press conference, and President Ramaphosa said his working visit also is necessitated by the setup of the Continental Free Trade Agreement Secretariat here in Accra, and he thanked President Akufo Addo for, allowing the Secretariat to be, established here in Accra. Now, going forward, they are looking at how they can work together to boost intra-African trade, because it's something that both countries are really keen about. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has actually slowed down the whole ambition for this particular agreement, they are looking to further consolidate it from next year and open up borders so countries can really trade among themselves.
And speaking of trading amongst themselves, African countries trading amongst themselves, I suppose this is important. I mean, just given that President Cyril Ramaphosa spoke about the fact that borders have been closed by European nations and certainly America to South Africans, this really does speak to the fact that Africans need to work with Africans and that old age Africa for Africans. Certainly this must have been something that was quite important as a discussion point while we're talking about COVID-19 and the Omicron virus. So I suppose those two issues tend to kind of merge at some point.
Yes, indeed. This was also discussed, and one of the things that both presidents discussed was the fact that Africa needs to add value to its natural resources instead of just exporting it to these Western countries. And President Akufo Addo, for instance, said it's about time that Africa tries to handle its affairs and stop the issue about being exploited by foreign countries. And they discussed the fact that they would want to work together to boost industrialization in Africa so that at least they will be able to manufacture their own goods and also provide their own services so that their economies will grow as a result. So that's a shift that Ghana and South Africa are looking towards because of recent issues of how Western countries have treated Africa for a long time now.
Right, thanks very much for giving us that update. Certainly, you've been on the ground for us there in Ghana. Many thanks to you.